Hello, good people. Welcome to the April 2026 Scroll Report, where we scroll back through the month to see if we can answer the question, why these four stooges still haven't been fired yet. Low-hanging fruit. Well, forget all that then. Knowing why doesn't solve how. So we'll just move on with Boom Scroll and Doom Scroll. And the first Boom Scroll of 2026 goes out to the Belgian nonprofit APOPO, the government of Cambodia, and Malgawa, the giant pouched rat, who has been detecting landmines in Cambodia and has sniffed out more than 100 undetonated explosives across the country during his lifetime. Was commemorated with a 7-foot statue in his likeness on April 3rd. And here's a boom scroll for the lightning humanoid robot who won a half marathon robot race in Beijing on April 19th, faster than the human world record. The implications for this new record are staggering to Du Xiaodi, honors test development engineer, who said the team was happy with the results of this race. Looking ahead, some of these technologies might be transferred to other areas. For example, structural reliability and liquid cooling technology could be applied in future industrial scenarios. However, I'm thinking that these guys are gaining on us. They're a lot closer than we thought, and they're the worst that they're ever gonna be right now. And here's a giant boom scroll for Peter Hanke, or Latwogang. He was a Polish live streamer who set up a 9-day charity stream to break records for fundraising support for kids with cancer. Broadcast from his small flat in Warsaw over 9 days non-stop, Latwogang raised a record-breaking 250 million zlotys, or $69 million. The money was raised for the Cancer Fighters Foundation. It was supported by 6-time Grand Slam champion tennis player Iga Swiatek and Barcelona striker Robert Lewandowski, and also beat records for the largest number of current streamers, which was 1.4 million people at one point. And now a boom scroll for an anonymous 13-year-old, presumably German 13-year-old student who found an ancient coin from the legendary city of Troy in a field in the Spandau district of Berlin. The coin itself was minted between 281 and 261 BC in Ilion, known as ancient Troy in modern-day Turkey. At first, archaeologists wondered if this was a modern loss, perhaps something dropped from a collector recently. But it was found in a multi-layered historical site containing Bronze Age and Iron Age burial remains, Roman-era artifacts, and even a medieval Slavic knife. So they believe that this Trojan coin is in context of the history that it was found in by this 13-year-old child. And a huge boom scroll for NASA's Artemis II mission, which in the first 2 weeks of April captivated the nation's attention and refilled us with optimism and hope for a brighter technological future fronted by American excellence, and also showing us what true DEI principles can achieve. And to quote from pilot Victor Glover's Easter statement, in all this emptiness, this whole bunch of nothing, this thing we call the universe, you have this oasis, this beautiful place that we get to exist in together. This is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we are the same thing, and that we got to get through this together. And we have the tiny violin doom scroll for former Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who suffered a landslide loss on his election in April and has bowed out of politics for the time being, promising to rebuild his coalition. I see this as a great optimistic promise for the people of America that after 16 years of an autocratic ruler, the democracy can finally retake power for the people. But I worry that Orban is not gone. Autocrats are more dangerous when they lose. This boom scroll goes out to the entire Manosphere, or three particular members of it. Ever since Louis Theroux's Manosphere documentary on Netflix in March, the Manosphere in general has entered a find out moment of their evolution. First, we have idiot rapper David, who spells his name with D4VID, is accused of doing some unspeakable things, and if they're true, they are truly awful. No longer comically grifting con man Russell Brand has been making the media rounds lately after being accused of all kinds of other unspeakable things, that he's trying to say that he's come to Jesus now and has been forgiven by the Lord for all the things that he's done. So we need to do that too. And also, don't mind giving him a little bit of attention and money while you're at it. But really, no one personifies the downward spiral that comes from selling out your values so dearly as Braden Eric Peters, known online as Clavicular or Clav, an American online streamer and influencer, rose to fame in 2025 on TikTok and Kick streaming platform for promoting looks maxing and micro-dosing methamphetamine. Just see that. Oh, just a little bump. It's just a little. Anyway, Clavicular flamed out all through April. Multiple arrests, lawsuits, investigation in Florida for him baiting and killing alligators. And all I can say is, kids, don't grow up to be like Clavicular. And lastly, we have a doom scroll for shoe retailer Allbirds. The company that once prided itself on manufacturing eco-friendly footwear has now pivoted to AI. And while it did help the struggling company with its stock, which rose to $148 million in April, projections are not good for this company's move. I mean, who's going to go from shoes to AI and deal with the such high competition as Microsoft and Nvidia and OpenAI and others? So it just feels like such a sellout, with this countercultural icon surrendering its values to the establishment. Reminds me of something else. And now we come to might as well yell at the sky. You know, a lot of hatred has been flung this year at Coachella. I don't understand why. I mean, I've never been there, so maybe if I had been, I might understand why there's so much hatred. The 2 weekend spanning music festival held in the desert of California started out as a protest against the monopolistic practices of the music industry at the time. Ever since being purchased by AEG in 2001, Coachella has blown up into a huge, mega colossal event. Now it's being accused of everything it used to be against. But I disagree. Coachella continues to be the event of the year that brings visibility to smaller, more independent artists. This is where we get to see Carol G and Wet Leg, Geese and Turnstile for the first time. You know, my generation had Woodstock. Coachella was trying to do Woodstock, but Woodstock always turns into Coachella. That's just the way it is. So, my advice, seek your own Woodstock. If you can get to Coachella and maintain your sanity and your pocketbook, then more power to you. Otherwise, look for something local, something free, something you can camp at and really have a good time with. Got any ideas? Leave them in the comments below. And now it's time for Scroll Bits. Record of the month has to be a quirky Canadian math rock duo, Engine de Poitrines, Volume 2. While their Engine de Poitrines music kind of all sounds like the same song, it's a lot catchier than Volume 1, if we can call it that. Engine de Poitrine is something to listen to that I like to put it on shuffle and just have it accidentally pass through my playlist. They're much more fun to watch live because of their quirky mannerisms and their weird costumes and their very erratic playing. But this is definitely the major release of April 2026. Podcaster of the month is the Touré Show on YouTube, who has been explaining the Iran war very well. I can't say I always agree 100% with everything he says, but I love to hear his take on a daily basis about anything. About the only movie I remember watching in April was Begonia. I liked it about as well as I like any Lanthimos movie. And it was written by the same guy who wrote Mountainhead and The Menu, and it's kind of that same bent of snarky little snipes at capitalism, as if that's gonna beat it. But what makes Begonia memorable to me is Emma Stone's acting. She was just incredible. Just the control she has over her whole face. And I mean, even the skin on her scalp, she controls so meticulously, embodying the character and exuding that character all over the light of the screen. It's just magnificent acting. Billionaire hanger-on Joe Rogan just might have advanced science a little bit in this current administration. On Saturday, April 18th, at Joe Rogan's urging, President Donald Trump signed an executive order allowing the expediting of psychedelic drug research, in particular ibogaine. Rogan was heard to comment, "These drugs are illegal, not because they're harmful, They're illegal because of the 1970s Controlled Substances Act. That was passed by the Richard Nixon administration. They did it to target the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement. It's not because these drugs harm people. And for 56 years, we've lived under these terrible conditions. Now, I personally do believe that psychedelic therapy is important, especially in combating addictions. So isn't it a little bit infuriating when we see these celebrities take on their pet projects to the president and then they end up going nowhere, just like Kim Kardashian's prison reform? Ooh. Hot take. And now we come to Memento Mori for April 2026. Hip-hop pioneer and DJ Afrika Bambaataa, known to have the most extensive record collection on history, passed away at the age of 67 on April 9th of cancer-related issues. He was known from the 70s for the gigantic block parties that he would host in the South Bronx, developed the Zulu Nation and the Zulu Nation Throwdown, and his 1982 track Planet Rock reached number 4 on the US R&B chart. Near the end of his life, Bambaataa ran into a host of legal issues after multiple men accused him of abusing them in the 80s and 90s. He paid out a settlement in 2025 to a man accused of trafficking him in the 90s. It's been 10 years since you went away. Yeah, Prince has been gone for 10 years now. What's the Prince album you listen to the most? I find that the Prince album that I listen to the most is The Rainbow Children, my favorite Prince album. And I'll be playing it for many more years to come. So there you have the Scroll Report for April 2026. I hope there was something in here for you. Throw a thumbs up if there was. Subscribe to the Scroll Report for a new Scroll Report coming out the first Sunday of every month. And also use the link below to sign up for the newsletter that comes out on the following Tuesday after the Scroll Report vlog. That will have citations and links to all of the stuff I discussed. Do you have some ideas to go into next month's Scroll Report? Reach out to me. Drop me a line. All the same, I hope everyone has the best May 2026 ever. Be sure to be kind to each other, and a special happy 70th birthday to my beautiful wife, Francine. Thank you for being in my life, my love.